7 Reasons to Play the Samurai has come onto the field, and this is a job that I have truly, beyond my expectations, enjoyed. This has been an absolute freaking joy to play. I have loved it so much that I would even say that it's the Lamborghini of the melee DPS. It just feels incredible. If I had to give an elevator pitch on the Samurai, I'd say the following. You have big dick DPS with no frills, no esoteric gimmicks, and total agency over your own output in a group, which is very, very nice. Samurai has clear inputs and clear outputs, and when you are outputting your rotation, it feels mind-blowingly great to play with massive, I cannot emphasize, massive numbers, absolutely slamming the gas on the dopamine in your brain. Samurai is just massive dopamine hit after dopamine hit after dopamine hit. It is a complete and utter joy to play. Honestly, it's blown me out of the water in terms of expectations. Samurai I didn't think much of it at the start, but when I started playing it, I'm like, oh no. Reason number 1 with the Samurai is that the dopamine just does not stop flowing with this job. I know that I just said it in the elevator pitch, but this is also my reason number 1. Everything on the Samurai that you do feels weighty, powerful, and the numbers that you're slamming out are absolutely beyond incredible. And I kid you not when I say that this is my number 1 reason. I have raved on this channel for years about how amazing Reassembled Drill no Jutsu on Machinist Head does. I have shorts on that, I have little videos on that, I've said it in the Machinist videos. But like that Extreme Burst does still to this day feel absolutely fantastic. But Samurai does that over and over and over and over again. Midari Setsugeka into an immediate Tsubame Geishi for a Keishi Setsugeka, both just doing absolutely disgusting amounts of damage, and then you pop Ogi Namakiri into Keishi Namakiri, which is just... When you are trying to design a game and capture the feeling of something feeling really powerful, this is how you do it. I'll say it that. This is a masterclass in how you make it feel really, really weighty and powerful. Breathtaking. I remember when I saw the first trailer of Samurai for Endwalker, I honestly didn't see the wow factor of it. I was like, meh. But when I started playing it, I was like, oh yes, there is more. It just felt amazing. Actually, on the note of more, Shoha feels weighty too, even though it's an off GCD, and Hisatsu Sene slamming down 800 potency and that animation too to go with it is just... It's just so good. Okay, I swear I'm gonna move on from this point, but because I'm sure everyone gets it by now, but this is actually my number 1 reason I love the Samurai, because God above created my teeny tiny monkey brain to be absolutely thrilled at these massive girthy numbers, and Samurai 100% delivers them. Samurai delivers them before the expected delivery time. Samurai is beautiful and perfect in a model, and Samurai could walk out on the runway in a diaper, and I'd still say, Samurai, you're fucking amazing. Actually, I swore I was going to end this point sooner, but I do want to finish this point on the cast times, and actually, the cast times only add to my personal excitement. Sure, they can be annoying to others, I get it. I've heard that bit, but to me, it's the whoosh, naughty fun before you just dive right in and get it done. It only adds to how good it feels. I'm so dumb. Reason number 2 is that the Samurai brings big dick damage. Not only are the numbers appearing and feeling weighty and big, but Samurai is also the absolute top dog of all of the jobs in Final Fantasy XIV at the time of making this video. And yes, that is raid DPS, so that accounts for the buffs other jobs bring before I get comments about that. Samurai is the absolute peak of DPS right now, and has the absolute biggest of the big dick DPS in the game. While I don't think that it should be necessarily something that sways people because balancing changes can and do happen, I'd be lying if I didn't say that this felt absolutely fantastic and was a huge pro of myself playing it personally. It felt awesome. Big dick DPS and dabbing on everyone frankly feels good. Reason number 3 on Samurai is that I feel like I have more agency. I feel like I have more control over what I'm personally contributing, or another way to put it is that there's this entire notion of I don't need to share my DPS contributions and like break off like 10% to give off to party members, and I don't need to share with anyone else on Samurai. And that is massively, hugely appealing, and actually shockingly rare in 14. There's Black Mage, Machinist, and Samurai, and those are the only DPS jobs that truly do not share DPS with the party, and I do think that that's a fantastic perk, and that is why it's obviously on this list. That is probably going to get eyebrows to raise, so let me explain for a bit. I do a lot of party finder raiding and farming and extreme trials, and I do the Alliance of Gaelia raid, the gay raid, because I do enjoy getting the coin for alt jobs, and the glamour I do find nice. That means is that I am respectfully subjected to some depraved things in my groups, many deaths, people not doing rotations properly, people eating damage down debuffs and vuln stacks like they are candy. Samurai takes on the full responsibility over their DPS, and that's just a huge nice perk to me. I like that. And don't get me wrong, I just press buttons. I don't actually know what I'm doing. I personally do press buttons in raid, so let me just disclaimer that I am not Yoda or whatever, but this is one reason why Samurai has and remains one of my top priorities to buff with cards or Dragon Sight, for another example on Dragoon. Funny enough, extremely well played Dark Knights are also on that list, and yes, I mean Dark Knight the tank is up there too. Trust me guys, it's actually crazy what they can do. But one of my 5% single target buffs will go so much further on a Samurai than say a Bard or a Dragoon just because of this fact. Now people will rebuke that in the name of the derp, saying that's selfish, and let me debunk that BS. Calling any DPS selfish is silly and a very, very derpy opinion when you actually know what you're talking about. And that's not me trying to be condescending, that is me saying, y'all, open up FF logs, open up any statistical analysis on this game, understand the building blocks before you start dumping on people and like spreading things that don't make sense. Fundamentally in this game, your goal is to clear content, get the loot, get the mount, whatever, and obviously that needs you to beat the enrage timer, which is through every extreme trial, every savage fight, obviously every ultimate, and I say this as someone who has died far too many times to enrage timers being missed. A well-geared samurai that knows a fight, that knows their rotation, that is using the potions and food and consumables, whatever, will massively outperform and contribute more to beating an enraged timer than a job like a Dragoon that is giving away its own DPS to team members that I described before that are flinging themselves into orange circles like it's a Black Friday sale. Huge perk. I like beating enraged timers. It feels good. Reason number 4 is that the rotation has built-in skill speed, which makes the samurai by default, even without any skill speed melds, no skill speed in their gear, much faster than normal. One major concern people have with 14 in general is a 2.5 second GCD, which as I am showing on screen, it lowers it by a little over 0.3 seconds per GCD. That's going to be a significantly faster GCD than even my max full speed spell speed summoner, where I am quite literally intentionally using spell speed in every meld in as much gear as possible, and I even use the spell speed cookie consumable, and I get 2.2 on my summoner right now. And so my samurai obviously is even below that, and so samurai plays very quickly, and I do enjoy the change of pace, and I know a lot of others will too. Reason number 5 is that the samurai's rotation and kit just makes sense once you wrap your head around the skills and their names and what to press and where to use it. It also feels like a well-oiled machine, really, when you consider a lot of the timings and the burst window and the potions, where you literally finish the opener's final ability in the pot window perfectly. To keep it really brief here, basic opener, you're going to start out with Meikyo Shisui, and then you're going to stack up the seals, which immediately you burst into Megari Setsugeka, and then it's Keishi equivalent, and then you use another Meikyo Shisui for more seals, apply your heavy damage over time effect, and then go ham with Ogi and Keishi Namakiri, and then wrap up the opener with another set of Midari and Keishi Setsugeka. It just feels incredible. You have obvious points that just make logical sense, and I adore this rotation for it. You're literally dumping out so much damage at such a rapid pace, it is pure bliss. Reason number 6 is that samurai has clear inputs and clear outputs. This intuitive nature of this rotation really lends itself to being what many would call accessible for players. With the removal of Hisatsu Kaiten, myself and many others feel that the samurai has gained significantly more accessibility in its playstyle, and that isn't a bad thing. There's certainly plenty to optimize before people think I'm saying it's easy. It's definitely not. But once you're wrapping your head around the core fundamentals, like I build up 3 seals, I use Midori Setsugeka into Keishi Setsugeka, I reapply my Hingen Bana damage over time effect every minute, I use Ogi Namakiri and Keishi Namakiri every 2 minutes after refilling my Kenki gauge, using Ikishoten and Hisatsu Sene every 2 minutes, and every 3 cast move I'm going to dump a Shoha. That sounds like a lot of points, but when you actually get into the mix of samurai, it really does inherently become very smooth to play. And I do think that this is a perk because compared to ninja with multiple mudras that you need to memorize everything that they're doing, monk doing monk things, dragoon with its Brazilian off GCD combos, it's nice to have a straightforward entry point, and to be super clear, there are obviously plenty of optimizations and mastery points still. I'm not saying it's easy, but what I'm saying is you have a good entry point. Now reason number 7 that we're we're going to end the video on is that there is no ridiculousness with Samurai. There are no gimmicks. It is straight up badass. You know what you are getting when you order it. If you wanted eggs with bacon, you're getting exactly that with the Samurai. It feels very similar to me to White Mage. It's like the White Mage of DPS in my mind, in that I know what I'm getting when I press a button. Third Eye is flat up giving me damage mitigation and some Kenki gauge. Big damage buttons just do big damage. There is no weirdness or fanfare like healing with Astrologian with its many interwoven mechanics, which is appealing to some people, but it's much more like the White Mage style of melee DPS in that there are no frills, there are no gimmicks. You don't need to memorize a billion mudras, you don't need to worry about buffing allies, you straight up are dumping out the damage and are in complete agency and control of that. As a comparison point, Ninja does have that mudra system, Dragoon has that interwoven off GCD combo system, and many people enjoy that, but I can say I for one very much enjoy the face value of Samurai's awesomeness. And really that point is what I want to end this video on. Samurai is an absolute blast to play, and they take full responsibility for the DPS and is the current reigning king of all DPS in the game. It really feels absolutely mind-blowingly great to play, and this is coming from me who has a massive history with healers, although I've obviously played all of the different roles over the years, but it's a well-oiled machine with clear inputs, clear outputs, no BS, and it just absolutely feels like a rush to play, and that is one of the best feelings possible, and I do think that the Samurai is absolutely a joy to play. So to conclude this video, would I recommend Samurai? Absolutely, no doubt about it. It is freaking amazing. It's definitely worth your time. If you haven't checked out the Samurai, totally do it. I love it.